Get some W's. The Tigers need them bad.
Especially considering how last year ended for both of these teams. The Tigers knocking Cleveland out of the playoffs, Cleveland knocking the Tigers from the division title. Here we go. Framber Valdez is on the mound. He's the Tigers starting pitcher. It is presented by Wallside Windows as always. And Framber with a great bounce back last time. 2 earned runs in 6 2/3 in New York. It didn't lead to a win, but it very well could have.
Yeah, he was brilliant, and he's going to command the strike zone against a team that doesn't chase a lot of pitches out of the zone. Usually works pretty quality at bats. Framber's going to want to be in the zone quickly, get ahead, use the breaking stuff and the changeup probably a little more against a team that likes to hit the ball in the air.
And here is this starting lineup for Cleveland, for a team that, as you said, doesn't hit the ball on the ground a whole ton. Its strikeout rate for the Cleveland Guardians, MLB average is 22%. You see some of those strikeout rates this year, and they are astronomically low. Now, Stephen Kwan is hitting 7th in the order against the left-handed starter, but Angel Martinez has hit a home run in 4 of his last 5 games. He has been a table setter plus for them recently. Winners of 5 of 6 walking in here today. And the Tigers starting defense brought to you as always by the fine folks at Marygrove Awnings. It's going to be Green and Bierling and Perez. McGonigal and Short on the left side of the infield for the ground ball pitcher Framber Valdez. Zach McKinstry, Spencer Torkelson, Dylan Dingler has the plate. So A.J. Hinch starting Zach Short for the first time in a couple of days, in part because of his defensive ability on the left side.
That graphic right there is going to be one of the most important parts of this series. Against a team that likes to put the ball in play, try to put pressure on you via contact, you have to make the plays defensively. The Tigers have been plagued by some defensive mistakes so far this year. Let's see if they can shore it up, make the plays all around the field, keep this game tight, and let the offense score some runs.
We know the season series is a saga. It's more Odyssey than it is 30-minute sitcom. But every one of these feels big right now for a Tigers team that needs wins in the worst way. Just 4 of them this month so far. Framber Valdez to Angel Martinez. The first pitch as the wind whips through Comerica Park is called a strike by Ohio native Tom Hanahan behind the plate. Angel Martinez has been exceptional this year for Cleveland. He's moved to the top of the card as the 0-1 to him is a bunt, third base side and foul. That's strike 2 once it's touched by McGonigal. I do not be fooled. Cleveland is still not much of a slugging team. They're 20th in slugging percentage. But what Stephen Vogt has done very well is have an identity offensively. They walk a ton.
Yep.
They steal a wheelbarrow full of bases. They're 2nd in the league in stolen bases, 3rd in walks.
Yeah, they'll small ball you. Get guys on. They want to create havoc and pressure on defenses and pitchers. Try to work deep into counts. A lot of contact. Hard guys to strike out.
Angel Martinez flares it to left. And after a 43-minute delay, we have our first out tonight at Comerica Park.
And for Framber, you can't be afraid of contact, especially early. You got to trust your stuff. Let your defense play behind you. If you try to get too cute, start getting more swing and miss with your stuff, then you start throwing balls, and that's where that wheelbarrow full of walks comes into play.
Yeah, the only thing we want to see in a wheelbarrow today is diamond dry. Framber to Jose Ramirez. And he takes a ball that ends up through the wickets. On a changeup first to Ramirez, who's got 7 home runs, but he's one of the major stolen base culprits on this team. He's got 20 of them this year. 20 stolen bases in 48 games for Cleveland. And as we have shown you in the past, the longer the at-bat goes, the more dangerous he is in the damage department.
That's right. He's got 2 home runs versus lefties off the fastball, 2 on off-speed pitches. None on the breaking ball yet, but he's still pretty handy against the breaking ball. Slugging .417 against that pitch type.
Yeah, there's really not a magic bullet against Jose Ramirez.
Location and mixer pitch is good enough. Try to keep him off balance. Is best shot.
That's a good start. 2-2 off a curveball from Framber.
get him looking for something hard. He wants to do damage on the pull side. That's a good time for the curveball. You see he's out in front of the pitch, but he's so good at making in-bat adjustments. He'll pick his time to try to go deep or hit a ball for extra bases. Then with 2 strikes, he'll shorten it up a little bit.
So here we go. That's pitch number 5, fouled away by Ramirez. His 29 runs scored so far this year cracks the top 30 in Major League Baseball, but nobody's got more stolen bases than he does, and he can create havoc for you around a pitcher. 2-2. There goes the bat. There goes the ball. They're both foul.
Foul bat.
That's half a bat. The thing about all the walks is when you pair it with not very many strikeouts, you end up with a deadly lineup. There's power in 2 of those bats. Quan can run into a homer as well, but those top 2 are big power merchants, along with a strong, keen sense of the strike zone. 2-2. That's a fly ball straight away. Matt Vierling makes the catch, 2 down. This is one of those series where you just might as well carve out a chunk of your night, because you're probably not going to go anywhere after like the 5th inning. It's very likely to just kind of ease into it.
Yeah.
Right, you show up at a party, you bring the potato salad, you put it in the fridge, and you start to mingle a little bit.
Okay.
And it takes a while until you get to dinner.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't just rush dinner out.
No, who's going to do that?
No, that'd be impolite. You got to mingle for a little bit.
Chase DeLauder wasn't really into mingling.
No.
Chase like, where's the key lime pie?
He wanted to get the bat head out quick. Well, he knows Fromber's going to be in the zone. Teams are onto that. They swing early. But if you get early contact in play for an out, keep your pitch count down.
This guy might have had the most impressive opening series in the power department in Major League Baseball. He had 4 homers against a Seattle pitching staff that's really good.
Yeah, every time I turn around during that little series, it's like Chase DeLauder hits another home run. I'm like, is that the same one? Surely that's the same one they keep. No, different one.
Got to be a replay, right?
Right. You know, because he's a rookie coming up, make his debut. Highly touted prospect. He made his debut in the playoffs last year.
In the outfield.
Who makes their debut, MLB debut, in the playoffs? That guy right there. So that tells you what they think about him, and he's proven to be a very good asset for the Cleveland Guardians.
And you saw on the screen what he's done against left-handed pitchers this year. That swing is so unorthodox, but he can get to basically every pitch with it.
Well, it starts with his footwork. If you watch his stride, there's not a ton of movement. The head's not bobbing around. He's not trying to create power. He just has power. There's a big difference there. For guys, you can see guys that move a lot in the box, but watch how still he is with the lower half and with the head. Gets into his load. That keeps him on pitches. He's got a nice little tilt to the swing, and it's a short swing. So whenever you kind of pair that perfect combo with a guy who's got longer arms and good leverage, but look how little movement it takes him to get from point A to point B, and then you have the longer arms, which gives you leverage. I wouldn't know what that's like. Chase DeLauder does. Right? Because if you get extension with those long arms, it's money.
We have a pitch timer violation for the batter. DeLauder is out for not making eye contact with Framber Valdez. And in a series where one small thing can flip it, there's your first.
The clock's ticking.
Dirt Cam is on it here. Look at the clock and the timer and the 8-second mark. He's looking down. It gets down to 6. Junior Valentine never would have let it get to 6. That's a timer violation.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. That one was pretty blatant right there. Chase DeLauder taking his time to get in the box. The Tigers will take that, especially against a power hitter. Well, you've seen some people get a little antsy on that call.
No, I was just saying by the letter of the law. At 8, that's when you make the call. Slade Ciccone is on the hill, and he will face Colt Keith at the top of the card today. It's a fastball away. He likes the fastball against left-handers. And Ciccone, who came over in the Josh Naylor deal in December of 2024, it's a pretty big number. The home runs have been an issue at points.
Well, his velocity is anywhere from about 94 to 87 with the four seam and the cutter, which lefties are going to see a lot of. So you know when you get a pitch in that range, you see right there 91, there's not a ton of variation. So you're looking to get the head out, try to do damage on the pull side gap. The curveball has been his best pitch against lefties to put him away with. You got to be alert for that once you get to 2 strikes. But before 2 strikes, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Vaulted high in the air, third base. Jose Ramirez on the lush and drenched grass for out number 1. And the Tigers batting order is presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers today. It's a load of left-handers with Keith and McGonigal and Green, 3 of the top 4, slugging against the breaking balls, as you're talking about with Ciccone. Dylan Dingler with an enormous number there. Riley Green has hit him well as well. Kevin McGonigal just hasn't seen many breaking balls.
A lot of change-ups, off-speed pitches. If they have a split or a change-up, that's what they've been feeding McGonigal.
First pitch fastball, popped up foul, third base side and into the seats.
What you can't do against Ciccone is be late. You got to be on time for the fastball, get your line drive stroke on and get it out there. If you let him get ahead and counts with that cutter and the four seam, that's when he can go to the breaking ball, get swing and miss. He loves the back foot curveball to a lefty.
0-1. McGonigal takes a strike, 0-2. Looking at wins above replacement WAR, that stat that measures everything you do on a baseball diamond, essentially. Kevin McGonigal's 26th as of today in baseball. Jose Ramirez 25th. Very close to one another. McGonigal right side. That ticks off the glove of Bazana, and it's a base hit for McGonigal. It was synchronized dives for the infield for Cleveland, and neither Hoskins or Bazana could do it.
Tack a little more WAR on there, would you? He went with a sinker, which was an interesting choice after going up with the fastball. It's down in the zone. McGonigal stays on it. That pitch shape usually gets a ground ball. You see McGonigal hits it hard enough to get it through the hole. He doesn't throw a ton of sinkers to lefties, so he's trying to mix it up. You know, his best 2 pitches against lefties are cutter curveball.
Yeah, it's basically 1 out of every 9 pitches to a lefty is a sinker.
Yeah, interesting time to bust it out.
But everybody's trying to break their own tendencies. Everybody self-scouts. Some teams, even more than others, like the Marlins and Rockies, are calling pitches from the dugout for that very reason, in part.
Keep it on the stat line.
0-1 is a strike. It's 0-2 on Dingler.
Usually against one of the better hitters in the game, Kevin McGonigal, though. Do I want to break tendency here or go with my best stuff, right?
I get it. Kevin will take it. 0-2 off the fist to shortstop. It's Rocchio the feed. This turn from Bazana. And it's not in time. So this pulls Hoskins off the bag. 6-4 on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, he hit it slow to shortstop. Didn't give much time on the turn, but it's part of the equation that you take into account with Dylan Dingler, who's an all-star caliber catcher, having a great year offensively. He also beats those out. Not many catchers that are at the caliber he is are beating those ground balls out to give you more opportunity to get Riley Green up to bat, who's got some pop.
Ciccone knows that, and you have to figure he's going to live up in the zone. He goes cutter there first, but the four-seam fastball against left-handers is really the key pitch. He doubles the cutter up with that four-seam fastball. That 1-0 fastball is doused by Riley Green. Into right center field it goes, and that ball kicks back in off the wall. Here comes the first run. Dingler is in. Tigers take the lead in the first inning.
Riley Green continues to crush left-handed pitching this year. He knows the assignment, cutter up and away. He's like, I know he's gonna throw me up in the zone here. I'm gonna be ready for it. Get the head out, Riley. He does, all set up by Dylan Dingler beating the ground ball out. That could have been a double play, and that's where the Tigers in these type of ball games, you leverage those. Get your power guy up, Riley. He does his job.
On the ground from Torque up the middle. Rocchio behind the bag. Tough play, and he aced it. That could have been another run if it trickles on through. Instead, it's just one.
Quality defense, good baseball. That's what we're going to see all week.
Hi,
1-0 Tigers in the second inning. Riley Green an RBI double, and our Call Sam best call. The team that scored first in this series the last 2 years plus now has won 69% of the games, which is a little better than league average when you score first. But the way these bullpens are constructed and the way these games have been played, both managers have talked about. It feels a little bit, paraphrasing, like Groundhog Day, right? Sonny and Cher plays. Ned Ryerson waits for you to step in the hole, and then whoever leads first feels in control. Because the offenses generally have been slowed by the pitching in this series.
And the defense. Now we just saw last half with Rocchio with a play up the middle. That could have been a run, but they save runs defensively. Great pitching has always led the Central. There's never been a time I can think of the Central not being led by starting pitching, good bullpen work.
Yeah, and there are divisions in this league where you think like the NL West, right, with the Rockies, but also Dodgers and Padres now. There's some offensive firepower. The AL West too, right?
Yeah.
You think of like a 10-9 game as you're going to sleep in Sacramento.
That's right.
It's not that way in the AL Central. 1-2, and Hoskins, power for hire, did not fire. Former Philadelphia Philly Rhys Hoskins, best known for his time with the Phillies after making his debut in 2017, a native of Sacramento growing up. 2-2 to Hoskins, and I believe he's a hockey fan. Getting ready for Game 7 of the Sabres and Canadians. Rhys Hoskins, there's one away, and here's a message from Tiger Law.
At Tiger Law, every case is personal to us, and we won't stop until we bring home the win. Tiger Law, all we do is win.
One down, overcast skies here in Detroit, but that huge line of thunderstorms has rolled through. It got hairy here around 5 o'clock. It looked like somebody's ruby slippers were going to be at issue.
One of my new favorite things is when weather comes in, I like to see how nervous you get.
That's
it's
not
like a
as
game
true
I
as you
love to
think.
play. When there was lightning the other day, it turned out to just be the scoreboard graphics.
You're going to milk that for the whole season, aren't you?
There was thunder. No, Jason, that's a jet. Going over we were in New York.
No, those
and then
were
jets.
those
going
were
over.
airplanes.
There's
That was
thunder.
LaGuardia.
What's happening? It's like LaGuardia's like just 2 blocks down the road.
Do you know how much of a bind you put our director, Andrew Blaustein, in when you talk about jet airplanes from the last road trip? What cameras is he supposed to cut to? Andrew's like, I guess I'm going to show the sky.
He might be leaving on a jet plane.
Yeah. David Fry is a specialist against left-handed pitchers. Back and fully healthy this year. He got 3 home runs so far for Cleveland. And the 1-2 is blown right by him. A fastball from Fromber, and 5 up, 5 down.
That's where Fromber's tricky. Not a complicated arsenal, but very effective. He gets you looking fastball, then he throws a curveball. He gets you looking curveball, then he goes with the heater up. Surely this is a curveball out of hand. It's going to come down. Nope. 2 days late on that one. It's like day-old bread. Stuff's crusty.
Would you like some olive oil with that, sir?
Please put it in the toaster and slather some butter on it.
Here's Bazzana, the rookie. The Aussie fouls off the first pitch he sees from Fromber Valdez. Oh, 1. cascades in for a strike. The slider. Fromber feels very good about his breaking stuff to take a strike so far today.
He's in the zone right now.
Oh, 2. Little half swing blooper back of shortstop. Zach is out. He's not going to get there. That is not unlike a hit we saw from the Blue Jays just yesterday.
Very similar.
Old Vlad Jr. just throwing the bat out like Dad did.
He starts going and he decides, I think this might be a ball, but he's too committed to the swing. Pokes it out there to center field. And after you do that, you're always like, man, what would have happened if I just kept swinging?
It's an out to straightaway center.
That's right. But not in the hitter's head. The hitter's head might have done real damage on that. Got it out in front, clipped him a little bit.
This is where we mentioned Bazana was a batsman in cricket growing up in Australia.
Was he really?
Yeah.
That is such a
It's
such a good parallel right there.
Totally a cricket swing.
Stephen Kwan has struggled early with pretty much everything.
Well, he's walked, and that's the thing. They want more production, slug-wise, batting average-wise. But he is one of the guys that has more walks than strikeouts. And so the question I would ask you is, how do you ask a guy who's patient to success to dial it back?
Yeah, I think a lot of it for him this year is trying to do more damage. He's hit the ball in the air an awful lot, like more fly balls, way less line drives. Usually means as a left-handed hitter, you're a little late to the party. Swing's getting a little bit long. If you're a guy that doesn't have thump to all fields, because I can raise my hand, I was in that category. When you start flying out to left field and you start flying out to center field a lot on lazy fly balls, it's very frustrating. You got to go low line drives the other way, pull sides where you want it in the air.
He takes ball 4 here. And if somebody's going to give it to you, though, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to do much damage with any of those 5 pitches.
Yep. Force field engaged.
So here is Austin Hedges with 2 on, 2 out.
He's hit the ball on the ground way more this year. This is your double play candidate if you want one.
Hedges to second base. That'll do. McKinstry makes the catch, and the inning's over. Guardian strand 2. 1-zip.
Good drive.
If the Tigers score 3 or more runs in this game, you can visit a participating Arby's location tomorrow and receive a free small order of
Curly fries. I should sing it like an opera song. That's the old opera house out there. Those people are watching the ball game from. That's a cool view.
next time. There's always a next time in baseball. Z-Mac, who came home on that wild pitch we showed you right off the top of the show. That series in July. And this is why any given game can be a bit of a red herring in this series. That series in July looked like the Tigers had finished the deal.
Yeah.
So this is also why a 20-27 start just can't be everything. I know, we know the Tigers have not played good baseball.
Yeah.
At points this year. A.J. Hinch has said that much. But Cleveland's year last year and the Tigers' September in 24 are both proof positive that any segment in a season in this division specifically, this is not an excuse. Don't take it that way. Any specific segment of the season is just that.
It's facts. Every team has struggles at some point in the season. If they're early, they're definitely magnified because you see the standings right away. Now, if you jump out to a big league like the Tigers did last year, and then the last month of the season, you can't figure it out, then you go, well, what are we going to do? And then they're one knock away from going to the American League Championship Series.
In the air in that spacious right center field, but it is playable for Stephen Kwan, who has transitioned to center from predominantly left to begin his career.
That's what's fun about baseball, though. It's the most unpredictable game. day in and day out.
It'll drive you crazy, Andy.
It definitely will. You can have lineups that you think, like we just went, Tigers went and played the Mets. You would think that team should be ridiculously good. And they've struggled along the last few years.
And then you'd watch them play the Yankees and the defensive lapses they had, and you go, oh, they got swept, didn't they? They won 2 of 3.
That's right. Baseball's an interesting sport.
White Sox just took 2 of 3 from the Cubs. The Phillies are 15-4 since they changed managers. They've done this trick twice in 4 seasons now, since 2022 and 26. So 5 seasons, but since 2022, they've fired a manager mid-season and gotten hot right after. Kwan's after this one into left center field. He throttles down and makes the catch.
Good piece right there by Matt Beerling.
Why do you say that? I mean, people
Just
look and they say that's
drive.
an out.
But hard hit line drives are what you want, that are backspun, hit it to the big part of the field. Yes, it's an out, but it's a quality out. You see he gets barreled to a pitch that's up and in, hits a hard line drive. You chalk that up to a quality at bat. 103 off the bat. You want that consistency. You keep having at bats like that, it turns into very positive end results.
We saw how important Matt Beerling could be in that Friday game against Toronto. That home run early in the game on Saturday. 0-1, and Perez hits it in the air for left. 3 fly balls and 3 outs. Martinez puts it away. Off to the third we go in a 1-0 lead.
Time now for Chevy's strongest player. Changing eye level. Framber Valdez working the breaking ball down, back to the heater up. And wouldn't you know it, that sequence worked again for him against David Fry. Curveball down, heater up. It's a good way to live. Because just when they think it's the curveball, it's the fastball. When they think it's the fastball, it's the curveball. It's all where the ball starts out of his hand, Jason. Starts down the middle, you break it down. Starts up, they think it's going to come down, and it never does.
Starting with a curveball there, steal a strike, set up the fastball later. Here's what he's done so far. It's been very heavy sinker, then the breaking stuff. He did mix in a 4-seamer. That ball shocked to right center field by Brian Rocchio, and this is a great triples ballpark. As we know, Rocchio had a steam past second on his way to third, and he is in there. First triple for Rocchio, leads off the third.
Hits it out to triples alleyway, but you see the same type of sequence, Jason. He went curveball down for a strike, went heater up. This time Rocchio was ready for it. He must have watched his compadres at bats. And when you hit it to right center field here, you know that's going to be an opportunity for a triple. He never slows down all the way through. McKinstry threw a bullet to third base. The infield's going to come in here against Martinez.
Yeah. 1-0 and Martinez. That is the 3rd career triple for Rocchio. 2 of them have come in this ballpark against the Tigers. Stuffs in that sinker, a strike. 1-1 on Angel Martinez, who is one of the hottest bats in the American League coming in. He has an RBI in 6 straight games with a plate appearance. And a plum chance here. Ground it right at second base. Zach McKinstry handles the first out of this 3rd inning.
I love the managing back and forth. You bring the infield in, the other manager's got to make a decision. Are we going on contact or are we not going to go on top contact? With Jose Ramirez coming up after Martinez, they elect don't go on contact. Worst case scenario, if it's a ground ball, take the out. We'll give Jose a chance to come up and try to score that run. But the infield's going to stay in now, and I would imagine they'll go on contact if he does put it in play. Benetti.
He only hits the ball on the ground about 1/3 of the time. He is very much a fly ball hitter, and that was a back bend on a sinker in.
Show him where you come from.
Well, look,
against good hitters, you got it. You got to throw in at times. You have to.
And these two have, Jose Ramirez doesn't like to talk about it, but he has the punch heard around the world in the AL Central over the past 5 years. Jose Ramirez is like embarrassed by that because it is not his personality to do what he did to Tim Anderson of the White Sox. But
Tim was a little bit asking for it potentially. I don't know. Could go check the replay out. But no, that was definitely not his personality type.
It's inside 2-0. That was one of the most shocking things you'll ever see in a ballpark. I mean, he just totally wailed on it.
Yeah. But if you put your hands up, the other guys got to do something.
2-0. Outside 3-0. Does this feel like a pitch around? Andy?
Yeah, I think Fromber wants the lefty in Chase DeLauder to come up next. I try to tickle an edge here, 3-0 with something.
Oh, Ramirez took a whack at it.
He wants that RBI. He knows. He's a guy. If you throw it in there, he's got good contact skills, a lot of pop. If it's close, he wants to go get it.
Scary thing is, if you walk him, he could very easily steal second base and turn it into second and third.
Great point. That's really the problem here.
3-1. Check swing ball 4, and that is quite a bit of Cleveland's offense. The walk and the stolen base. So first and third, DeLauder will hit. He is not much of a ground ball hitter either, but this is what he's seen on first pitches, and a first pitch fastball has been his jam so far this year.
We saw him go after a first pitch sinker that was in and hit it foul in his first at bat on the pull side. Let's see if Fromber can keep Jose Ramirez stuck at first base and get a ground ball.
He doesn't swing at a lot of them, just 21%, well below the league average. But here he does, and he rolls it to second base. McKinstry gets one, and that is all. Cleveland does tie the game off the leadoff triple. DeLauder just hit it too slowly and softly, and we're tied at 1.
The theory and thought was there, but he hit it off the end of the bat, chopped it into the ground right at home plate. Doesn't give McKinstry enough time to come over and make a turn. It was good effort. Good backhand, sling it over to short. Good strong throw to first. DeLauder's just too fast.
Here's Hoskins. First pitch settles for ball 1. 4-game series. Tigers and Guardians here at Comerica Park. 3 night games, a day game on Thursday, getaway day, with the Tigers heading off to Baltimore after. Line to left field, that is a hit. Hoskins rolls it all the way to the wall. DeLauder's around third. Tigers have a shot at him, but he is there. Riley Green just could not cut it off before it went up the alleyway, and the Guardians lead 2-1.
This ball has backspin on it. It's a low line drive, and Hoskins hits it plenty hard enough to get past Green. Green tried to go cut it off to do the right thing. He knows if he can cut it off, it'll save a run, but the ball was hit too hard. By the time it gets to that left center field gap, that's such a long throw to try to execute. DeLauder's speed kicks in.
So Hoskins drives in run number 2. Here is David Fry for ball 1.
And it goes back to, you know, you pitch around Jose Ramirez. You got to live with giving up a hit to Rhys Hoskins. So Ramirez could have got out. And even if the run scored, then you got 2 outs. But there was a decision in a moment. They did get the ground ball. It just wasn't hit hard enough to execute the double play. So it's like playing for not allowing them to score any runs versus, hey, we'll try to take an out here if we can get it against Jose Ramirez, even if it's a sacrifice fly.
And you're pretty sure that was a pitch around?
Pretty sure. 2 balls like far up and in, and curveballs stayed away. His command has been really good.
It felt like it from the first pitch of the sequence.
And if not, it's like, I'm going to be very careful with this batter right here. I don't want him to do damage.
2-1. Fry swings through a changeup down to a knee. 2-2.
He hadn't pulled the changeup out much yet today, and Fry sees it for the first time and says, "Oh, I forgot you had that one. Thought you were just fastball breaking ball for a minute."
See what he's got. 2-2. Comes in with a curveball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and a long inning now developing for Fromber. He's over 50 pitches to 51. The walks will certainly elevate the pitch count and accelerate someone's departure. 3-2 to Fry. Swing and a miss on a big wide curveball, but Cleveland has taken the lead, and double plays are at a premium in this series. Getting down the line is huge. It created a 2-run inning for Cleveland. Your home for all the Tigers action this season is easier to get to than ever. Sign up for Detroit Sportsnet, presented by Bet365. Scan that QR code right now through May 21st and get a 7-day free trial. Subscription includes the Tigers all season long, the Red Wings starting in the fall. It is subject to national exclusivities in Tigers territory. Don't miss a minute of the action and start your free trial today by visiting tigers.com/Detroit Sportsnet. I think it got longer, Andy.
It keeps adding.
Somehow it got longer.
Consonants and vowels just are getting thrown into that thing.
0-1 to Zach Short, and that is a filthy cutter. That's a more sliderish cutter from Ciccone. Who has been staked to his first lead of the game, with the Guardians scoring twice in the top of the inning. He is a native of the same hometown as Riley Green, Oviedo, Florida. They know of each other. They're not tight, but that has become a hot spot of Major League Baseball players coming out of Oviedo. Ground ball to third. Ramirez claims out number 1, and here's a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Now during employee pricing for everyone, get $10,002 in savings on the 2026 F-150 XLT 4x4. See your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
So at the end of 2024, the Guardians identified Slade Ciccone as a guy that they would trade for, and Josh Naylor ends up going to Arizona. And Ciccone had a weird year that year. He started 13 times. He came out of the bullpen 7 times. It was a weird enough season that he ended up with an ERA of 6.66, which you'd rather it be 6.65 or 6.67 just because.
Yeah.
And he got totally reborn as a Major League Baseball player with Cleveland. Carl Willis has done a marvelous job with young pitchers in Cleveland. We've seen it close up, as that's a strike. 0-2. And now, certainly it's not been the start he's wanted, but the stuff is there.
Yep, the cutter has been good. The mix, it's usually command is an issue. Anytime you give up the long ball, your ERA is going to get dented pretty heavily, and it's keeping the ball out of the middle of the plate for him in bigger spots. Because if you fall into the same patterns, when you have similar velos, like say your pitches are only 5 or 6 mile an hour difference in multiple at bats throughout a day, guys get used to that similar type of velocity.
Off the fist, past the mound. Rocchio got a bare hand, got a chug, throw, and not in time. He had to really hustle that throw, and Colt Keith beat it down the line for an infield single.
We saw the hustle pay off in the first for the Tigers. Dylan Dingler bid out a ground ball that could have been a double play, and now Colt Keith earning every inch of that. He did not want to be on Web Gems tomorrow morning. He decides, I'm going to get down there, give me an infield knock, extend an inning.
You're trying to get on quick pitch so you can be the start of the inning and then pay it off later with like a McGonagall homer. First one to Kevin. There's a fastball for ball one. He threw him a sinker down in the zone that McGonigal poked to right last time.
Yeah, which was interesting. He went up with the four seam, up with the cutter. McGonigal got him a knock on a sinker down. Here he tries to backdoor a cutter, but here's the last at bat right here for McGonigal. You see up with the four seam, comes back with that sinker down. Almost looked like a changeup variety.
2-0 is a called strike, 2-1.
They've been living at the top rail with McGonigal. Trying to throw that ball up under the armpits. I hated it whenever that ball felt like it was right under my armpits out over the plate anywhere. It's hard to stay in the legs and get your A swing off.
So how do you adjust?
You got to get it on top of the ball. Shorten your swing up. Find a way to get on top of it. You don't have to hit a ton of them. You got to hit enough of them when they're strikes to get hits, and then they got to go to something else.
3-1. That misses, ball four. Like Kevin was waiting for a possible strike call from Tom Hanahan. It never came. And the Tigers trying to counterpunch. Have 2 on with 1 out.
But this is with Ciccone. He doesn't have pitches that move a ton. Everything's short movement. It's a little sink. It's a little cut. It's four seam action. The curveball's the pitch with a lot of movement. But you can pretty much determine velocity's somewhat similar. Pitch shape might change just a little bit, but you can still get the bat to the baseball.
But those 3 fastball types are something you can live off of in this league.
Yeah, you can. If you can miss enough barrels with it.
Right. Rolled to short. Rocchio, awkward backhand. Bazzana on the turn. They got him this time. Dingler cannot beat it out. 6 and 4 and 3. The Guardians turn 2.
A little glove work from the Guardians.
Time to spin the wheel and see who pops up. The totally randomized, but sometimes shockingly so, Tiger of the Day. It's a guessing game. Andy, he relieved Dan Petrie once in 1984.
Okay.
You got it, right?
Yeah, nailed it.
Got it. Nailed it. All right, second clue. This former Tiger is one of 2 current pitching coaches to win the World Series as a player.
What?
He won the
Not
World
sure.
Series. It was
Okay.
with the Minnesota Twins, you should know. So think it over, mull it over. Tiger of the Day, always here to make Andy Dirks lose some sleep. Here's Bazzana, who singled in the 2nd inning, and ball 1 to him. Do you have it yet?
No, I'm not even close.
Don't be salty. He finished his career with the Twins. But
Okay.
you might know him more for wearing a Cleveland uniform. Bazzana pumps it to center field. Vierling is back on it. He's still going, and Vierling has it traced. There's 1 away. Bazzana's 1 for 2. All right, 1 more clue of Tiger of the Day for Andy Dirks. He's coached 5 Cy Young winners.
Man.
And if you for some reason had his location on your phone, if he shared it with you at some point in time, he wouldn't be far from you right now.
Oh,
It's Carl Willis,
there you go.
who played for the Tigers in 1984. He ended up with Cincinnati, but 10 games that year with the 84 Tigers for Carl Willis, and then he ended up winning a World Series with the Minnesota Twins. He pitched in 7 games in their 91 World Series run. He is a genius. And talking to Stephen Vogt earlier this year about what Carl Willis does to make his pitchers what they are, he said Carl lets them be them. He coaches them to want them to be whatever they are, the best version of that. Now, there is a Cleveland way, and that's development, and they like certain things, but they also select guys that they feel like will fit into that mold, and they let them grow kind of how they want.
Yeah, because each player is individual, not trying to build robots, which is usually how you get the most out of guys. What are they good at? How can we help them achieve some qualities to make what they already do pretty well even better?
like you and Dan Petrie and Bobby Scales. You're all very good analysts, but you're not the same person.
No, and you shouldn't be.
If we treated you like the same person, that would be very confusing.
That would be extremely confusing. My dog's name's not Petey. How's Petey, Andy?
That's ball 4. The Guardians do have Petey Halpin on their bench, though.
They do.
The first Petey we've seen.
What are the odds that Tiger of the Day just steps it up? It's completely random.
Totally random.
The Tiger of the Day happened to be the visiting pitching coach. What are the, like?
And you in Kansas City.
I mean, yeah, it's just stepping it up. It knows what's going on.
Tiger of the Day, like everyone's afraid of AI, has a mind of its own. Here's Hedges, who tried to check his swing and took a strike anyway.
Really the only double play candidate in this whole lineup. Like, good one. Solid.
He's also the only guy who hits the ball on the ground more than half the time.
That's right.
Careful on that limb.
But he hasn't in years past. He's hit the ball on the ground more this year.
Yeah.
Years past, he'd always hit the ball in the air. That's usually a timing, sequencing with the body. The bat starts casting a little early. It's not staying inside the ball as much.
When you say inside the ball, for the folks who haven't been in a batter's box, what do you mean?
Yeah, the barrel has to stay. Just imagine it being close to your right shoulder if you're Austin Hedges, a little bit longer as you come down through the zone. If the barrel starts getting away from your body as you're making the initial descent on the swing, you're coming around the ball, which causes the bat angle to change. You cover more baseball. You get on top of it too much. You stay inside, you get a nice smooth path that'll help you get under the baseball and create backspin.
Will you show us?
Yeah, of course I'll show you. So there's a difference. Casting is when the hands get away from the body and the barrel comes this way. Staying inside the ball means you're here a little bit longer. Just this little move right here keeps you here longer, and you can see how the barrel then flashes through the zone.
This to third base. McGonigal starts it. McKinstry turns it.
Cast the hands a little bit, cover the baseball, gives the Tigers a chance for a double play. Nice start by McGonigal, flips it over to his buddy Z-Mac, finishing it off.
When you're hurting
Back in the first inning, Riley Green drove in the lone Tigers run so far, Dirks.
Yeah, you saw the high cutter right there, and then gets up to that high four-seam fastball. It's a pitch that gave Riley some fits last year. He's made a nice adjustment on it so far this year.
He'll face Ciccone again in StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. We've seen some high fastballs for Riley Green, but this is hits up in the zone against the four-seamer. You put enough of that on tape, and he's done it with 8 hits, that at least you start to see other things. That sinker ends up in right field. It's a base hit for Riley Green.
And that's what happens when you hit the high four-seam. You don't have to be perfect at all times. You hit it for a double, and then pitchers and catchers start thinking, well, if he's going to cover that, we're going to try something different. Try the sinker away. Then you get you another knock. The next thing you know, your basket's so full of hits you can't even carry it. That's the situation Riley Green is currently in.
There was an at-bat in mid-April. You and I looked at it and said, maybe they don't do it as much. If he's going to cover that, it came, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 series into the year. He had 2 hits on that type of pitch, and that is enough to at least dissuade guys from spamming that button.
That's it. And if you he's done a good job laying off that one that's up out of the zone as well. Not chasing the one that's up out of the zone is a big part of it. Because then you have to, you're waiting a really fine line at the top rail anyways. Because if it comes down 5 inches, it's a fastball that gets hit hard. If it goes up 5 inches, it's not a swing pitch. So there's that little line that they're trying to draw across the top of the zone and hit it.
0-2 cutter, that was well off the plate. 1-2 on Torque. Green over at first, nobody out.
Speaking of trying to spam a pitch.
Yeah, it's
Cut her away. Cut her away.
Does it
Cut her
surprise
away.
you?
Cut her away. Cut her away. It's like,
your battery's broken.
yeah. He likes that cut her away. to them righties. See, then he throws a sinker back.
That's in the right-hander handbook.
But that one's tough to hit. Torque has hit the sinker so good this year. Like, that's a pitch we've seen him hit out of the ballpark. But when you're kind of leaning out over the plate a little bit to try to cover the cutter, then it gets in on you just a tick.
So do Ciccone and Hedges go back to the cutter, see if he's off of it? It's a swing and a miss on a fastball outside, and the first strikeout for Slade Ciccone tonight.
This was a good example of what Benetti was talking about earlier with the different types of fastballs, the shapes that you can create. This one's the four-seam, the true four-seam out on the edge. You see him swinging underneath it. He had thrown him the sinker that came back over the plate the pitch before. He was cutter away the pitch before that. So 3 pitches ago.
First pitch, Zach McKinstry gives it a ride into right field, but just short of the wall, and DeLauder runs it down for out number 2. The Tigers a couple of times tonight have not missed by much, and Matt Vierling is on that list with a long fly out to center his first time up in the 2nd inning.
Hit it 103 off the bat on a fastball up and in.
Now that said, you just can't have that be the story of the series against Cleveland. It can't be hit it hard, missed it by that much, because that's the margin this series is played on as well.
Yeah, find more ways to put pressure on. Continue to put pressure on a defense and a pitcher. And you see, that's why.
Oh, snap throw and a good tag by Hoskins. He rang that bell very quickly on Riley Green. Man, he almost got him.
That was about as quick as you'll see a guy try to pick behind a runner, and great tag. You see him going right into Riley's face, and Riley retreated back to the back very quickly. They're going to challenge this.
I think they got him, Andy. That is one of the tags of the season in a ballpark that houses Javi Baez.
Yeah, that's a blind tag.
Wow.
Behind the back tag. Watch how quick he gets it out. Perfect throw, and just a blind tag happened to hit him on the face.
If you love great baseball and the intricate detail of playing the field, that is a phenomenal piece of evidence of how beautiful, but also how microcosmic and microscopic this game can be. Hoskins thinks he got him.
You see Riley secondary, and Riley went back as soon as he saw him back pick. So it's not like Riley got caught with his finger in his nose, sitting out there not paying attention. That was a well-executed back pick. And that's set up. Catchers work on it. There's usually a little signal with the first baseman down there somewhere. Hey, keep an eye out. I might be coming down to you. Taps the glove a little bit underneath the finger. That could have been it. And usually it's pretty discreet.
Swipe the leg.
Swipe the leg, little hand on the back of the mitt. Something along those lines allows the first baseman, Rhys Hoskins, to say, okay, I'm high alert right here. I'm going to make sure that I'm paying attention when you come to back pick.
This is, if I'm Cleveland, I'm a little concerned at how long this is taking.
Well, that's what we thought in
I know.
that one place that will not be mentioned, New York, against that team, the Mets, again with that umpire of
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
It's the right call.
Challenge.
And it's a beautiful play.
That is a really good play.
Both sides of it. Hedges and Hoskins pair up to cut down Riley Green. It's America's slowest growing sensation, Flushing or Detroit. Where's that airplane, Andy?
That's Detroit.
Looks like the rooftop of Comerica Park. They're both Delta hubs.
Yep.
It's not helpful evidence.
There you go. There's a ballpark.
Ryan Rocchio, you win a replica of Comerica Park that you can take home.
Do I really?
Yeah, we'll have it
Where is
built
it?
by 2029.
Oh. I would love one of those. I need you to build it out of Legos, though. Brick by brick.
And have it be a piggy bank, too. 1-0 to Rocchio. And settles in for a strike on a curveball from Framber Valdez. Yet again, a close game. Cleveland 2, Tigers 1. Top of the 5th inning. The opener of a 4-game series at Comerica Park. Tigers and Guardians will play throughout the summer. A couple weekend series. The Tigers will be at Progressive Field in Cleveland, and you see that is the run differential per game since 2024 between these two franchises.
That's insane.
That's 8 1/100ths of a run.
That is the hundredths column. Yep. 2 past that decimal to the right. Tenths, then hundredths, then thousandths.
You know how often Andy in his head but doesn't verbalize the phrase carry the one over the course of a day? But here, Andy, all seriousness, that's the 4th walk.
Yeah.
Right, to a Cleveland team that walks a lot. And it's another flip of the lineup. Rocchio, the 9-hitter, triples in the 3rd and scores.
Yeah.
Now he leads off the 5th and walks, and that's something that you just can't do over and over again. And Angel Martinez tries to, brick by brick, build a Guardians 5th inning.
That's what they thrive on. Get base runners on, hit singles, get walks, put pressure on a defense, steal bases. And on a team that's very contact oriented, the more base runners you get, the more contact you make, the better chance there is for scoring some of those runs when they're out there.
And now you can't pitch around Jose Ramirez. It's 2 on, it's nobody out, and Ramirez against Valdez. First pitch, ground ball, passed short into left. Stop sign at 3rd from Rouglas Odor for Rocchio, and the bases are loaded.
Didn't take long after that walk. Couple singles to left field, loads the bases up. Jose Ramirez never waits around. If there's a pitch in the zone, around the zone, he likes to swing the bat. With good exit velo on that ball, you see Zach Short extended, but the ball was hit too hard. It got by him. Now you got bases loaded for the rookie, Chase DeLauder, who's got some pop. He's hit a weak ground ball to 2nd in his last at bat. Jason mentioned he loves that fastball early. First pitch fastball is what he's thrived on.
There was a question here about whether Framber Valdez is declaring the windup or the stretch. So you have to declare so they know which is a balk and which isn't. We saw that come into play in the past couple of years off and on around Major League Baseball. So he's going to wind here and get a ground ball up the middle. McKinstry scoops it to the bag and gets 1, and that's it. That was a bang-bang play as it was to take care of Ramirez, but the Guardians have run number 3.
Again with a ground ball, but this time it's a broken bat. Ball's not hit hard. McKinstry goes for the glove flip. There's a lot of chaos over at second base. Zach Short holds it in his pocket because Jose Ramirez was all over him. That's being in the kitchen. Elects not to try to turn it against the speedy runner. And this is what they do. Get some guys on, contact, scratch a run.
That's even without the run game being any of a factor here. Another first pitch pass.
And that's why they're swinging first pitch all game.
That is 4 straight first pitch swings. And the first 3 were put in play. Cleveland as a group has the 3rd lowest first pitch swing in Major League Baseball entering play today. You talk about a tendency breaker. Ball and a strike on Hoskins.
They came in with the scouting report. Framber likes to throw first pitch strikes, get ahead in counts.
And then when he's not throwing first pitch strikes, you take 4 walks and you build 3 runs into the 5th inning. Hoskins just would not, his brain wouldn't say swing. His hands were like, come on, let's do this.
My mind is telling me no. But that body.
Good stop there. 1-2. Hoskins takes a breaking ball, 2-2.
That's a very good take. That's a swing and miss type of breaking ball from Fromber right there.
Hoskins inside outs at foul. There's a small group of kids down there chanting, "Let's go, Reese." They got louder as the pitch came, as though they could push energy his way.
Fans can bring in the energy.
Yeah. DeLauder at first, Martinez at third. Fouled away by Hoskins, and you hear a cheer from the dugout and the Guardians fans, and a long at bat. Ground ball foul. Guess that group of people didn't get the memo. We switched to polo shirts at some point last year.
Huh?
That was literally just a joke. I love that.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
however
there
you
go.
are during
Okay.
the day. Whatever you do during the day, come to the ballpark. That's the
right.
greatest part about baseball, is however you dress. We love to see you here. 2-2. It's outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was just a commentary on our Grayson wardrobe. Is
Yeah,
really all
Grayson's
that was
great.
from me.
Yep. And you know, they might have had those kids out selling vacuum cleaners before this.
You don't. I love
That's
that they
door to
came
door.
in a shirt and tie.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. 3-2 to Hoskins. He pops it up, foul.
What a battle. Good night. See the sequence. 1 sinker in the whole sequence.
Three and two. That ball's jarred high in the air for left field. Riley is back on it. He is underneath it. He makes the catch. Martinez trots home. And the Guardians have put another 2 spot up. 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th. It's 4-1.
That's 2 quality at bats from Rhys Hoskins. He hit a double in the left center gap to score a run earlier in the ball game, and here after an epic battle with Fromber Valdez, whose pitch count continues to rise at 81, ends up besting him to get the sacrifice fly.
Here's David Fry, who struck out twice. There's a strike. So by my count, that was pitch number 12 to David Fry so far today. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Here's what he saw in the first 2 at bats. A lot of curveballs and changeups.
All down, and you see the fastball varieties are up in the zone. Trying to split the sight lines.
Jackknife off the plate. Fromber went full waiting bird at the end of that pitch, balancing on one leg for a while. Brant Herter, who we figured would get quite a bit of run with his left-handed heavy offense, is loosening here in game number 1. That is ball 3. And a challenge coming from Dylan Dingler. It's an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. It's either 3-1 or 2-2. And the answer, magenta box, is a strike. Dylan Dingler, challenge beast, strikes again.
It helps this guy Fromber when he needs one. Get back into a count. Instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. That's a big pitch to get back.
He'll step off briefly. Pitch timer was down to 9. Two and 2. He'll milk it down to 2. Start his move. And that's served high in the air, left field side, and foul.
Just hasn't been able to find that swing and miss. And what we talked about Cleveland and their affinity for contact. And that's what they've shown tonight. Going deep in the counts, putting balls in play.
Two coming. So only one team swings and misses less than Cleveland. That's Tampa Bay. But by pitch type, all of them top 6 in the league. So there's not one kryptonite here.
Yeah.
Up and down the lineup. Touched foul by Fry. They were going inside with a breaking ball. You know, when you talk about lineup tendencies, you do see teams really like certain things, right? The Marlins don't throw any fastballs as a pitching staff, right? There are offenses that like the big fly. Cleveland doesn't seem to have something that they like. It's just it's a balanced lineup that gets to the baseball. 3-2. Broken bat, ground ball to third. McGonigal sets up camp and throws to first, and that retires the side. But Cleveland picks off a couple more runs. 4-1.
Big
June and July giveaways have just been released. Items for these giveaways include a printed sun hat, Detroit Stars inspired windbreaker, Paws tiki mug, and a 1901 replica jersey. Head to tigers.com/giveaways to get your tickets and learn more.
I love the variety. I mean,
Yes.
that's amazing in the giveaway department. The variety of items that you could come to the ballpark to get. Collect them all. It's like
I'm
a
with you.
Pokemon of giveaways.
If you know, I don't know that we're going to have it, but I'd love to know what a Paws tiki mug looks like, because that sounds like it would go very well on our little shelf here
I think it would.
in the booth. So if there's one laying around, somebody's running around wants to bring one, we'd take a Paws tiki mug any day. Fly ball foul, first base side. Reese Hoskins will watch it fly over the tarp. Bierling was up when Riley Green got backpicked to end the 4th inning. A sharp play between Hedges and Hoskins. Hedges tests the AC joint. One, two. Rocchio. One away. You heard during the pregame, Tarek Skubal is throwing some. He's coming off that surgery. Here's what Tarek Skubal said about his recovery process.
You're definitely trying to keep the, for me, I'm trying to keep the governor on a little bit. Just that's kind of the guidance that I've been told is like, hey, hold it back. You're going to feel good, but try to keep the reins on a little bit, and then as you respond well and as you keep bouncing back well from each bullpen session, then you can just kind of go out there and compete.
Yeah, guys, so just hearing from Tarek Skubal, the fact that he's moved his rehab from Lakeland up here to Detroit is an encouraging sign, so he can be around the guys, be in front of the big league pitching staff, Chris Fetter and company. When we first found out that he was going to have to undergo another arm surgery, okay? Remember he had the flexor tendon a couple years ago and obviously the Tommy John in college. The thing about this one, this minimally invasive surgery to remove those loose bodies, that was on May 6th. We're talking about less than 2 weeks ago, and already for the second time in less than 2 weeks, he is throwing off a mound. So that's the beautiful part about it. He said in the first 2 previous arm surgeries, you're casted up, but he just had to wear an arm sleeve, encouraged to get that full range of motion back as quickly as he can. We didn't put any timetable upon his return, but certainly he said sooner rather than later. But just great to see him here at the ballpark and getting his work in. And I know everybody is excited to see number 29 back out on the hill.
Yeah, he's such a force, right? He's such a force in the win column too.
Yeah.
Right. You just cannot ignore that record when he started over the past couple of seasons. When you're plus 23 to 500 and the guy's won 2 Cy Youngs, it's so important to have him around as Ramirez throws out Wencel Perez. Even though the Tigers did lose a couple games, Colorado, Oakland at the time in 2024 down the stretch, he does so much for your bullpen too.
That's it. And look, I think when it first happened, when we found out that he was going to have to undergo a procedure, and people start putting, you're trying to look for some comps, and you say, what is it going to be, 2 months, 3 months, or, is he going to be back before the All-Star break? Bottom line is him being around this club, certainly being able to be in uniform pitching is when he helps them best. But just his overall presence, being around, the guys can see him, just to see his spirits today, that's encouraging. And again, as this team starts to get whole, the biggest body they could welcome back, I'm not talking literally, but would be Tarek Skubal.
Well, certainly. Look, facts are facts. Since the injury announcement that day 1 of the Boston series on May the 4th, the Tigers are 2-10.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a big blow when your leader goes down.
You're 7 under 500 today. You're 8 under since Tarek Skubal left.
Yeah, he's the leader of the ball club, without question. When he started doing his thing in 2024, it's like everybody was like, whoa, if he's going to go out there and do that, I'm going to elevate my game.
Wave and a miss, strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ciccone. Young stars in this series: Travis Bazzana, Kevin McGonigal, Dylan Dingler's second full season. The rookie DeLauder, maybe a rookie of the year, comes from this series. Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Wallside Windows, local and family owned, celebrating 82 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows, and by your Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers. The night is over for Framber Valdez. He's bounced after 5. 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 5th for Cleveland. Wallside Windows pitching change brings us Brant Herter, who has had a phenomenal year so far.
Done a nice job throwing strikes, getting ahead in counts, using the sinker and the sweeper combo to his benefit. Last year, the only real struggles that we saw him have is he lost a little bit, started throwing some balls, hitting a few batters. But so far this year, man, he has been all over it.
Here's a bunt popped up by Bazzana. It lands, and the glove flip won't be in time. That might be, in terms of hang time, more like a punt than a bunt.
Yeah, Torque was playing back, and he takes advantage. Torque starts coming in on the play, but has to elect to let Herter come over and field it because he can't get the ball and get back to the bag in time. But if you don't think you can hit him, you might as well try to bunt him.
Have you watched a lot of cricket? A little cricket?
A little. Enough to know that it's very crickety. The swing earlier with the little check swing, base hit to center, and then now the bunt.
So he was like a cricket prodigy, as the story goes, Bazzana was. So much so that when he became a Cleveland Guardian, when he was drafted, he came up to the major leagues. Eventually, one of the things they did for him to celebrate Travis Bazzana being a part of the organization was they had one of his favorite cricket players do a video for him. Like, he's ingrained in the cricket culture in Australia, and you just don't lose that skill set of bat handling. You know, it's easy to draw the parallels when you know somebody's done something, but this hit earlier is super crickety.
Yep. Just get out on the lead side, and then here again on the lead side. Just great hand-eye coordination.
So when Bazana was drafted, Pat Cummins of cricket's San Francisco Unicorns hopped on a call to congratulate Travis Bazana. And now he's well off of first base, and he's going to scramble back and get there. I mean, it was like being in the crosswalk and the orange hand came up 3 steps ago.
Yeah, it was a timing play. He's tried to go. Brant Herter wasn't going home. By the time Herter steps off, though, he'd already been retreating back to the bag. Nice play by Tork to keep the ball in front. I mean, that ball was ejectoed. That could have went to the tarp pretty quick.
And a throw to first. So that's going to be a second disengagement from Herter. You have Bazana, who's 7 for 8 in stolen bases.
Well, Sandy Alomar Jr. is going to let him know. Good time to go here if he picks again. And you get back, you get the bag anyway. They want the bag, which isn't shocking the way the Guardians play.
He shimmies off the bag. He dances off the bag. He does not draw a throw, and it's ball 4 anyway. Stephen Kwan, who they want to be more aggressive, has walked 3 times.
Go figure.
You're not going to throw him a strike.
That's it. He's always had great plate discipline. And right there, you can see Herter worried about the runner at first.
I mean, look, this season, 7 multi-walk games. Last year, 6 of them. But what that comes with is an on-base percentage north of 320 and a slugging percentage that's not what he necessarily would like. There's a bunt from Hedges, and it's perfect.
So 2 bunts and a walk. They got 2 guys in scoring position. Small ball.
Which you can afford to do when you already have a 4-1 lead.
Right.
And you're trying to redouble the pressure.
Yep. Keep rolling the lineup over. Give your team opportunities.
So scored 5-4. McKinstry on the cover. Second and third, 1 out. And the infield drawn in for Brian Rocchio, who stung a ball for a triple in his first at bat. And he takes ball 1. Two and 0 to Rocchio. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound. Brant Herter has missed a couple times, and we get a message from Rally House, Michigan.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Chris Fetter, a final word for Brant Herter. Connor Siebold is up and loosening in the Tigers bullpen. Two and 0 for Rocchio. There's that sinker from Herter, which has been so tough, especially on lefties this year, but it can do the job against righties as well. That's ball 3, and this is a danger zone of, for the 5th time, walking the 7 through 9 hitters in this lineup tonight for the Tigers. The margins are just so slim when you have so many injuries that the self-inflicted stuff is almost a non-starter.
In the execution from the Guardians, they pretty much executed in any spot they've put themselves into via the walk. They've found ways to scratch those runs. Trying to do the same thing here.
That's ball 4. Stephen Kwan on that pitch. His lead from second base was actually on the grass.
Yeah, I think he's trying to create angles, decide if he wants to go in front of the runner or behind if there's a ground ball on contact.
So that is walk number 6 for a Cleveland team that's top 3 in the league in walks. Connor Seabold's coming in a quagmire when we come back. Here's our story so far, the Comerica Bank game summary early. A small thing, but Dylan Dingler beats out a possible double play. It leads to a Riley Green RBI double, and things were sunny.
Looking great. Score first, get on the board, come back out, but not shortly after that. Cleveland gets a runner on. Tigers walk a few guys. They beat a double play out.
Chase DeLauder got there to first base. Reese Hoskins an RBI double. That helped score one of the 2 runs in that 3rd inning, and then Bunt City started. Bazana pops one up and ends up safe over at first. And the Guardians have loaded the bases. Connor Seabold is the pitcher. Angel Martinez guides that towards second and down, a base hit. They'll get 1 run off it, and the bases remain loaded. But Martinez, in the last 2 at-bats, has seen 2 pitches. He's scored a run and driven in a run.
Guardians have been pretty aggressive on first pitches at times tonight. You see a changeup away, but it's up. Angel Martinez with that ball up is able to put a line drive on it. Hit a little on the end of the bat, but the right trajectory. And now they got to face Jose Ramirez with the bases loaded and 1 out.
He's going to swing at the first pitch too. The Guardians again are in the bottom 3 in Major League Baseball in first pitch swing rate for the year, but tonight 40% of the time it works all the time.
And a lot of it's with runners in scoring position when they've really gotten aggressive. But the ball out of hand is the play of the night. The non-competitive pitches, Jason. Less stress on the hitter, ball out of hand. Now it's a 1-1 count. Took a swing.
There's another one.
And this makes it way more comfortable as a hitter. You feel like I can see everything. I'm seeing it out of the hand. Really good. It's a ball. And then it forces the pitcher to come in the zone. And then you can be aggressive on that pitch.
Three and one.
No place to put him, Jay. No place to put him. Bases are juiced here.
It's almost got to be a fastball.
Go right at him.
Right?
You have to.
But that's so dangerous. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer. 3 and 1. Here goes nothing. Man.
He wants some RBIs.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, hey, there's one way to get in the Hall, buddy. Got to get some stakes on that thing.
I mean,
no, he's just seeing the ball so well. It's looking like a balloon to him right now.
But he's been seeing the ball well for a decade now.
Yeah, he's one of the most solid players for sure in the last decade.
Went to the changeup, and Ramirez fought it off. 6 times a Silver Slugger at his position, 7 times an All-Star, including each of the last 5 years, and there was no All-Star game in 2020 in that odd COVID year. He's played in every game this year for Cleveland. Ramirez right field, and that is big time trouble all the way to the wall, and it should clear the bases. Nope, they're just going to take the 2. The Guardians add a pair on a 2-run double for Jose Ramirez. Martinez stops at third. It's 7-1. Good job by Perez to get it in, but man, Cleveland's pouring it on.
Changeup out over the heart of the plate. Jose Ramirez just playing little league. I don't want to walk. I don't want to walk. Fouled off 2 balls. gets a pitch in the zone, does damage down the right field line.
Here's DeLauder. Infield in again. DeLauder takes a strike. So in a series that has not seen games that really turn into tire fires, right? That just doesn't happen where something gets out of hand. Tonight has become a different story. It's usually a little spark and you put it out. A little spark and you put it out. Both ways. This thing is swollen.
And you got to give credit to the Guardians, their approach today. They've taken walks, they put solid contact on the baseball. No long balls. Just all contact, line drive, ground ball, beat out plays at first.
3 of their walks have scored. A 4th one that was part of a fielder's choice eventually scored as well. That is strike 3 to bust DeLauder. And 2 away here in the 6th. Here is Rhys Hoskins, who drove in a run on an RBI double in the 3rd. A sac fly got him another RBI in the 5th. And he eyes ball 1 on a slider.
Anytime you get in a bat in these situations, you're playing with house money. You know he's looking to do damage. Wants to get a pitch he can drive. One thing that's been impressive by the Guardians tonight, they've been aggressive to pitches that are even on the edges of the zone. Not terrible pitches, but they put line drives on pitches that are up and away. Just on the inside edge, down out of the zone.
What does that mean to you?
Well, one, pitch to contact guys are always going to have to suffer the consequences of anytime a ball's batted in play, it's got a chance of being a hit, right? But also it means they're taking their hits. They're not up there just trying to launch balls and waiting for a perfect pitch. You know, in today's game, there's a lot of zone one up. If it's not there, don't swing.
Yeah.
They're very adjustable in the box.
Seabold underhand inning over, but Cleveland adds on with 3 more here in the 6th.
Oh, the install.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Bet365. You see Parker Messick, the lefties, going for the Guardians, and Cater Montero for the Tigers. If we've learned anything from today, Cater's going to have to be in the zone. He's done a great job of it so far this year, Benetti.
You say that like I don't believe you when you say my name like that.
Oh, I didn't mean it that way.
Like I didn't buy what you were saying. There's a fly ball. Deep right field to the warning track and playable for DeLauder. Colt Keith gave it a ride. We've seen 2 baseballs die in that right center field morgue tonight.
Looks like the wind's blowing in from right center. I think off the bat, DeLauder thought it might be a home run. Ends up tracking it down on the track at the little jet back. That's gobbled up a lot of baseballs in his historic Wall career. That little area, I've seen a lot of them go out there. Not many make it out.
No, that extra, that little cranny.
Is it a nook or is it a cranny?
It's hard to tell. We'll have to get in there a little bit closer.
But you can see where the old wall was.
I would say it's a cranny because it juts. I think a nook is more welcoming. I think a cranny is sharper.
It definitely sounds sharper.
Like a nook, you're supposed to cozy up with a nice, you know, a nice novel. A cranny sounds like craggier, like you would hold on to it to climb a mountain. Personally.
Yeah, like a little narrow space, a cranny, like you're getting crammed into something. I think that's correct. Like guys that do the cave searching.
Spelunking. In the air to left field, and Angel Martinez for out number 2. Did you bet somebody that you could get me to say the word spelunking tonight? Because that's all that felt like.
And I've seen some good spelunking. Spelunking. Word of the day from the Benetti vocabulary. Spelunking.
Yeah.
How many vowels are in spelunking?
It's 3.
Seems like a heavy vowel word.
The truck just said we looked it up. It's a nook. I have no further information.
Like a breakfast nook.
Yeah, it looks more cranny-ish.
Yeah, I'd say cranny's got more negative connotation in that wall. For hitters, it's a cranny, and for pitchers, it's a nook.
1-0 is fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hot Corner's got an answer for us. Nook, a remote out-of-the-way corner. Cranny, a small crack or crevice.
I'd say nook takes the. I don't see any crevices, crevasses.
Hot Corner's always got to be the smartest one in the room.
Well, actually, Hot Corner says. Well, actually, Jason. Thank you, Hot Corner, for the well, actually phrase of the day.
Hot Corner is going to be at the party standing in its own hot corner. Nobody's going to talk to it. It'll be a know-it-all like that.
It's a tough way to make friends.
So it's a nook.
It is a nook.
I feel like this is where they have footage of Nook Logan going to the break.
Yeah, robbing some home runs over the nook.
Tiger Law.
Build your perfect Tigers season with a Tigers Flex plan. Choose 3 or more games and unlock exclusive discounts and special incentives. Sorry.
What did you eat during the break?
A peanut butter M&M. Marquee matchups, exciting giveaways, and unforgettable moments at Comerica Park. Customize your plan today at tigers.com/flex. Who would have known that would have went down the wrong pipe like that?
Rip Hamilton's here. Huh? First pitch, fly ball, left field. Seabold gets out number 1 on a fly ball from David Fry.
See if Seabold can get some innings here. Going to have to gobble up some, try to maintain some bullpen usage. That's the assignment right now for him.
Sure is. I'm just glad you're okay. Honestly, you know, we've joked around, like, even in a losing streak for the Tigers, on this telecast, we are going to have fun or die trying. And Andy Dirks nearly did the latter. First pitch, Bazana, center field. 2 down. We better sneak in this message from Tiger Law.
If you've been injured in a trucking accident, make Tiger Law your first call. Tiger Law. All we do is win.
With Johnny Kane, Jason Benetti, Andy Dirks is questionable to return.
Oh, man. One of the first things that Dan Dickerson taught me
Were you eating pizza like that?
when I started doing some broadcasting was you got to be careful what you eat. Because, like, he will not eat popcorn. You cannot get Dan Dickerson to eat popcorn during a broadcast. He had an incident where he sucked a kernel down the wrong pipe. And he had to go, like, you know, you go like a third of an inning where he's got to call every pitch.
He's okay now.
And you can't get a word out edgewise. It's not a good feeling. I just felt Dan Dickerson's pain right there. So I think M&M's might be on the list now of the do not eat in between innings.
You're still hurting, aren't you?
Well, I'm good.
There's one of the greatest of all time, Dan Dickerson, enjoying his time in the booth as always. Dan Petrie over there. We are 2 wide in the Dan department over on radio tonight. 2-1 to the force field of Stephen Kwan, who's walked 3 times.
Yeah, you see the OPS this year. Hasn't done as much with the bat, but definitely walking a lot.
This he'll charge up to right field. Perez is there. 1, 2, 3 inning for Seabold. Time now for the Figer Law 7th inning
Don't eat
stretch.
it. Don't eat it. Do not eat that popcorn.
Nick?
Our Bet365 scoreboard just concluded the top of the 7th. We move along to the bottom. It's 7-1, Cleveland with the lead. And our Bet365 odds update, Riley Green once again has been a machine as the Tigers trail by 6. If there is a bright spot in this stretch, it is that Riley Green has kept it up even when the team hasn't around him been producing a ton.
A lot of offensive production. Walking a lot this year, on base percentage well over 400. OPS right around 900. But the variety of pitches that he's been able to cover, patience at the plate. He's been what the Tigers need to help score some runs, and been a guy that even through a rough stretch, what can happen is when you start trying to lean on a guy, you really need production out of Riley Green when the team's struggling, and he's produced.
And he hasn't, you know, sometimes you see somebody who is producing kind of stress themselves out at the plate, right? And chase even more because they feel like they have to hit a 5-run homer.
Yeah.
He has not done that in this stretch.
No, and that's one of the big adjustments he's made mentally this year, is he doesn't need to hit a 5-run home run in every at bat. Just put a quality at bat on him. And if that means trying to recognize the pitch for a millisecond longer and not just trying to get it out on the pull side on every pitch, he's going to concede that. Like right there, you lay off the breaking ball down because you're not just trying to get the ball out in front of your body, do a bunch of damage. Shorten the swing up a little bit, let it come to you, foul off tough pitches. That's the 4-seam up we talked about earlier that he's done such a better job on this year. Hasn't been swinging and missing at it.
He's at 2-2. He'll see a 6th pitch from Slade Ciccone. And he gets a piece of it. Ciccone still in the 70s in pitch count into the 7th inning.
Yeah, some pretty easy innings. Tigers hit some balls hard out to the warning track. Hit a few line drives that have been caught. And he's been the benefactor of those.
Tigers have 2 of the 3 hardest hit balls in the game, but that can be misleading because the next 9 hardest hit balls, numbers 4 through whatever that is, 12, are all Cleveland's. Ball 4.
Consistency wins the day. In baseball, over a course of a season, you're going to have some blips up and down, but it's what are you good at consistently? What can you rely on? For the Tigers, it was pitching and defense the last 2 years. They could rely on good pitching and solid defense. This year, it's been a little bit shaky in both departments. More so than in the past 2. And if you can't rely on that, then that's going to put pressure on the offense. If the offense isn't producing, then you got a real conundrum.
It's a little bit like a tripod, isn't it?
Yes.
One leg's a little short, everything else is wobbly.
Most teams have a deficiency in some area. It's just like teams aren't perfect, players aren't perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect player. But if you're going to be deficient in something, pitching is not one you want to be deficient in.
Ramirez for Bazana, and that's double play. It's 5, 4, and 3.
And then that also equates to defense. Your pitching and your defense are usually your foundational pieces, and then add as much offense as you can get.
Which, you know, the Tigers, again, they don't chase a lot. They're 5th in whiff rate. So we talk about Cleveland not swinging and missing, but the Tigers just have not seen the power that I think we expected. 41 home runs, 23rd in baseball. And the home run can fix a lot of things. I mean, the home run ball, more than anything, is responsible for what has become the White Sox turnaround until now in the 26th season. The White Sox are 18th in batting average, but they're top 10 in runs because they're 2nd in homers.
Yes. If you can hit the ball over the fence, it remedies a lot of evils that you might be facing.
And that, you know, Cleveland doesn't really do that. but they have other categories that prop up that offense.
Right, stolen bases, walks. If you walk and you steal a base, it's double, essentially.
Right. That's right. Especially if you do it, as you said, consistently. Just missed. 2-2 on Z-Mac.
But if you're not going to slug and you're not going to hit the homers that you're expected to hit, you got to find another way to tack on runs.
Fly ball left center field. Kwan will leave it for Martinez. Ciccone faces the minimum again. We'll go to the 8th. Let's take a trip around Major League Baseball. And Philadelphia was in doldrums early in the year, but don't let them get hot. The Phillies are now 2 over 500. A 2-run home run for Bryson Stott to give them the lead, and then Joan Duran back from injury with his 8th save. The Marlins jumped on Richie and Bummer, first 2 pitchers in for Atlanta, to take a 12-zip lead. And that Tampa Bay team that the Tigers will go visit the first week of June is just cruising along in the American League East. They have 16 on Baltimore this evening at the Trop.
That's an exciting brand of baseball over there. Very athletic. Small ball, move it around. Got a little power in the lineup. Pitch it well.
They hung 8 on Trevor Rogers tonight. And you remember it was 2023. It took them about a month to lose at home. The Trop gets whatever rap it gets. That place in the postseason is bonkers. It's like playing in a pinball machine with the sound.
Yeah.
People have talked about the mound being a little bit weird sometimes for visiting pitchers, and they are healthy and they are dangerous. Our CNL Ward on deck hitter is Brian Rocchio, and he has been outable.
Agreed.
Thanks.
Triple to right center. That was the big rally that they had in the 3rd inning to get things going. Leadoff triple. He's been walkable today,
but unoutable. Challenge. Got a challenge coming. It's a Figer Law ABS challenge.
Pitch is called the ball, the catcher's challenger.
It's either ball 2 or strike 3. Catcher v. catcher. Hedges versus Dingler. It is just ball 2.
Confirmed. Detroit will lose their challenge. They have 1 remaining.
Johnny Kane, what do you have?
You were talking about Tropicana Field?
Yeah.
2023 you were talking?
Yes.
You remember 2024?
Yeah.
The inaugural season of Ray Tank Trivia Tuesday?
Ray Tank Trivia Tuesday.
People are still talking about it.
In that the 2 of us are talking about it. 2 and 2 misses.
There was a plan in place. It's much like being a ball player. You have a plan in place, and then do you execute the plan?
Yeah.
And we didn't execute the plan.
No, it was a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
It was like Johnny Carson level funny. As the 3-2 is sliced to center field, that's Vierling moving over to make the catch. 1 away. Ray Tank Trivia Tuesday, RIP. Maybe we'll bring it back beginning of June. Brian Rocchio started this all off for Cleveland. It was a triple in the 3rd inning to that deep, cavernous right center field. He eventually scored, and then Cleveland didn't give back the lead.
Nope. Scored 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th.
Rocchio pops it up, fouling on a plate. Just in case anybody didn't see it, real quick to close up the story. Johnny was going to quiz me on the Ray Tank, which, by the way, when we go to Tropicana Field, you'll see they kept the Rays. They're back in that habitat at Tropicana Field.
Okay.
Now. So those Rays that were there and that rode out the storm that blew off the roof, the ones that survived are back in Tropicana Field, in a nice touch to give them their man-made home back. But the idea was Johnny was going to quiz me on the Ray Tank and the Rays in the tank. But I didn't know he was asking me the questions.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you
That's
ask? What kind of questions do you ask about Rays? Like names? Are they named? Are they named Rays?
the different genus and species, and then if Kevin Cash actually owned his own Rays.
Yeah.
and then we brought in 2 young kids to help play trivia. They didn't realize that they weren't answering the questions, and Jason didn't understand that he wasn't answering.
Well, they were
it.
family friends, I think,
Yeah.
of somebody that was down there at the Ray Tank. And Johnny was like, hey, why don't you join us for that, like a live studio audience. I thought he was going to ask them the question. As here's the throw on to first. And I think actually this recap of Ray Tank Trivia Tuesday went as well as the first thing.
Yeah, we're all confused right now.
I'm sorry. It just every time we talk about the Trop, I feel like he gets a bad rap. It is a beautiful place to watch baseball. There is a lot of neat things there. I am grateful, honestly, that the Rays that did survive are still there.
Yes.
But again, we just didn't execute the plan very well. So there's a lot of questions still to be answered. And TBD, we get there another time.
But the reason, I mean, part of the reason you bring it up, number one, it was like Letterman at its worst, right? number two, we're glad they have their stadium back.
That's it.
And they're playing their tails off, and it's a great story in Major League Baseball this year what Tampa Bay has done after being displaced last year. As this fly ball to left field, Riley Green on the move. He's going toward the line, and he's going to watch that fly foul.
Just to bring this thing home, everybody was confused that the reporter was asking questions.
Well, they weren't really. I was supposed to use a different microphone because of the distance where I was. If you've been out there, the microphone, we were so far away, we were supposed to use a different mic.
Got it.
So you couldn't hear it, so I was talking into the wrong mic. I wasn't really asking anybody in particular the questions.
Got it.
And I think we had a 2 or 3 second delay.
I was going to say that the 3 second delay didn't help
didn't
either.
help anybody. Yeah.
It was a 3-car pileup, but it was memorable.
Thanks for playing along.
Yeah, thanks for playing. We didn't somehow get a sponsor for that. Pop up third base side, foul ground, McGonigal. That'll do it for the top of the 8th.
The clock's ticking on Little C. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers.
Here at Comerica Park, bottom of the 8th inning, and Slade Ciccone is on one tonight. His best start of the year for sure for the Cleveland Guardians, and he's only 87 pitches deep.
Attacking the zone, 3 types of fastballs, the 4-seam, the cut fastball, and the sinker have been his arsenal for the most part. Mixing a curveball here and there.
Yeah, that combination of the top 2 fastballs there is 7 out of 10 pitches.
Yep. And you see that's the sinker right there. Beerling beats it into the ground on the pull side. And if it's the cutter, it comes back over the plate. The 4-seam stays up. Just enough movement profile to each of those pitches to keep it off the barrel consistently.
Two and two from Ciccone. Deep to left field. Matt Beerling has left the yard. A solo homer in the 8th at 7-2.
That bat has heated up. He hit one on Saturday. Deep one to left. Got a big knock on Friday. And here he is with another bomb. On the cut variety. Came back over the middle of the plate. Yeah, after he fouled that sinker off on the pull side, they wanted to mix it up and try to get something away from him, but he left it over the middle, and Beerling mauled that ball.
7-2. First pitch, swing and a miss by Wenzel Perez.
It's like you see these little glimmers of hope for the Tigers. Because if Matt Beerling goes, which he's been playing much better over the last week and a half, you know that that's going to help catapult the offense.
Yeah, the counterpoint is, though, that deadline gets there fast.
Yes, it does.
You know, you can wait for people to get healthy while waiting for people to get hot, and that can happen. All of those things can happen, but if you dig yourself enough of a hole, this is where the Tigers sit right now. is trying to make sure that climb isn't massive. Because the probability swings of the last 2 seasons, even though they're right in front of our faces, are extremely rare.
Yeah, you don't want to have to climb Everest. Maybe Mount Holly, something like that.
Two and two on Wenzel Perez. And that is into the glove of Hedges. Strike 3, and there's 1 away. Stephen Vogt may be ready to climb the staircase. Gage Workman's going to bat, and that'll be it for Ciccone. It'll be 7 1/3 for Slade Ciccone to a 7-2 lead. We'll be back after this. 7 1/3 tonight for Slade Ciccone for Cleveland, Andy, and just 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, there was some ball in play, and the Tigers did put him in play, but not a lot of balls hit overly hard. A few to the warning track. Would have been nice for a couple of those to drop. The defense behind him tonight was spectacular. See the double play right there. And when he comes out of the game, he wanted to finish that inning, as pretty much every pitcher does. At least they act like they did. You got to act that way at least, right? Hey, solid effort, though.
Much needed for Cleveland. Our wall side windows pitching changes to Matt Festa. I say much needed because there are spots in this rotation that you would think will be even better than they've started the season. Like, wins for pitchers aren't everything, but Tanner Bybee doesn't have one yet, and they're still in first place. 0-1. Workman fouls it away, 2 strikes. That's not to say Bybee has pitched poorly necessarily, but there's a better version in there, which is, you know, we talk about the Tigers' upside when they get healthy. Cleveland hasn't exactly hit the back of the baseball card in some spots either.
That's true.
2 strikes to Workman, and Festa gets a ground ball just foul.
It's not like Bybee's sitting on a 10 ERA, though.
No,
yeah. He's at 4, just over 4 right now. So you know he probably handed the ball over in some games that were close they can come back and at least compete in.
Yeah, the 20 walks, 52 innings so far for Bybee, as the 0-2 is down.
Walk rate's up a little bit across the league. I think smaller strike zones. I feel like I've seen more walks per capita.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
But that's pitchers having to adjust to the top of the zone, shrinking a little bit this year. And you've seen the guys that ride the top rail walk a few more guys this year, I think, overall for sure.
Yeah, with every rule change, the guys who are in the majors as it happens are the ones who have the most jarring adjustment. The AAA players getting to the majors when the ABS Challenge showed up are the ones who know what they're doing. As there's a fly ball to center, and Kwan is on it to retire Colt Keith on a first pitch. Tigers get the Vierling homer. It's 7-2. Tigers baseball on Detroit Sportsnet is brought to you by Figer Law. All we do is win. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. 7-2 in the 9th inning. Cleveland with the lead in the first of a 4-game series between the Tigers and the Guards. And Manuel De Jesus, our wall side windows pitching change after a 29-pitch affair yesterday for him against Toronto in that series finale. He will face 2, 3, and 4 in the Cleveland order here in the 9th, trying to keep it a 5-run game. Strike call to Jose Ramirez, who doubled in a pair in the 6th. On 2 on Ramirez. Gage Workman over at third, McGonigal at short with the pinch hit opportunity for Workman for Zach Short. That moves McGonigal over one spot. So after this 4-game series with Cleveland, the Tigers will go to Baltimore to take on an Orioles team that's had kind of a similar trajectory this year to the Tigers. That ball is drilled. Jose Ramirez goes yard.
Boy, can he play some baseball. Man.
He is 7 home runs shy of 300 in his major league career.
Unbelievable player. Just quality at bat machine, steals bags, plays amazing defense. In an 0-2 count, he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. The slider hangs up. Blast off the left. Think he knew he got it, Jason?
Oh, yeah. So that's his 19th home run in this ballpark. That is the second most in a road ballpark for Jose Ramirez, as you'd expect. They're in the division. But he's got 23 at the White Sox Rate Field so far in his career, and then 15 and 12 it is at Kauffman Stadium and Target Field. But the Tigers are on the list with the Angels of the teams that he has tortured the most in terms of OPS. I mean, you're going to have very soon a 300 player. He's got 307 stolen bases in his major league career. He's got 293 home runs.
Yep. Elite. And plays a well of a third base.
Yeah, plays every day.
Very solid defender. Makes all the plays. He's the heartbeat of the team, without question. For all the ups and downs that you can have in a season, to have that type of reliability day in and day out. Switch hitter, whether it's a lefty or righty on the mound, it doesn't matter. He goes and produces.
I remember talking to Terry Francona back in 2022 before a game about Jose Ramirez, and he signed that contract extension, that long-term deal. This is fouled back toward us. He signed that long-term deal before that season.
Yeah.
And they were prepared to trade him. Like, if he didn't say, I want to do this, they were going to find a deal. That's what it felt like. And you know, Tito was pleasantly surprised. They were pleasantly surprised, but you know, surprise might not be the word. They knew how much of a loyal player he is. He wasn't supposed to be a star.
No.
They were, as the story goes, kind of an apocryphal story, but they were scouting somebody else when they saw Jose Ramirez.
The cream rises, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can never count a guy out. One of the beauties of baseball is no matter your size, your stature, where you come from, like, none of it matters. Can you play or not? Like, that's one of the beauties of baseball. It always has been. It's an equalizer sport. It's not basketball. It's different. In the NBA now, it's tough to play if you're not 6'5".
Sure. If you're not 7 foot, I mean, like Wemby is making it real hard on the 6'3" guys.
Yes.
Because you drive in there and you have what likely is going to be the defensive player of the year for forever. We get a challenge here.
Called the ball, catches challenger.
By Dylan Dingler. And by the way, pinch runner Petey Halpin over at first. That is a strike. Dylan's on it. Hoskins down a strike.
Pitch to a strike. Detroit retains their challenge. They have 1 remaining.
But the enigma of Jose Ramirez as you play against him is, yeah, he's got nearly 300 home runs for his career. He's leading Major League Baseball in stolen bases.
Yeah.
You can't just walk him because an extra base hit is on the horizon.
That's right.
So the league leaders for Cleveland in steals, it's all Kenny Lofton. All Kenny Lofton.
Not surprising. They could steal some serious bags. That lineup back then.
Oh.
Kenny Lofton, Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome,
Baerga.
They were stacked.
I mean, it was 3 years in the 90s that Kenny Lofton led the league in stolen bases. Major League Baseball, 2 other times he led the American League in steals. So 5 straight years he led the American League in steals, 92 to 96. 2-2, foul back.
And if that wasn't enough, they're up the middle guys. Omar Vizquel.
Yep.
Sandy Alomar Jr.
Yeah.
For periods in there.
I mean, then David Justice showed up, right? Julio Franco was the DH for a long while. 2-2, strike 3. Well, Julio Franco only played 2 years in Cleveland. I would have said it was longer.
Yeah, you would have just imagined he played till he was almost 50.
48.
Yeah. Classic batting stance. Julio had the bat up above the head.
How did he even hit out of that? I mean, you talk about being short and quick to the ball, and he's like wrenching
no,
it.
I'm gonna put this bat, point it back towards the pitcher. Very strong wrists and hands. That's how you do that.
0-1 is pumped in for a strike to Fry. 0-2. Julio Franco, 23 years in Major League Baseball. Sorry, he was with Cleveland for 2 years in the 90s, but he also had the stint in the 80s with them for 6 other seasons. So in that run,
there you go.
It was 2 years. And Jose Ramirez is the one who sent us down this rabbit hole. Two and 2 for Fry. Game 1 of 4. If the score holds, the Guardians will have a 6.5 game lead on the Tigers in the American League Central, and you would need super rally caps tonight. Two. Fry pops it up back of home. Dingler ditches the mask, and he will run out of room.
If you're in the stands and one of those goes up, Jason, are you more the guy that gets out of there, or are you the guy that stands in there and tries to catch it?
Why would you even ask me that question?
Because I love when you duck under the desk. One of my
it's like
favorite
half
things.
the game.
This was coming at us. No, it's not. Check that. No.
That was a very suave run culpa call at first base.
Here's a payoff pitch.
Okay. Now you're going to do my job. You torch me, and then you do my job. Great. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. One of those nights where you kind of can't wait for tomorrow.
What, you got something brewing?
Well, tomorrow's headlines today. We can party like it's 2025. Riley Green, Wenzel Perez, Jahmai Jones homered against Parker Messick in his last start of the regular season. Or you could party like it's 2024. Kate Air Montero's only seen the Guardians the one time. That was 6 1/3 scoreless in July of 2024. You can party like it's whatever year you want.
Yeah, you can. It'll be interesting to see how they try to navigate Cater tomorrow, too, with the amount of strikes that he's throwing earlier. We've seen some aggressive swings earlier from this Guardians team.
That's a great point. And Bazana vaporizes this ball to right field, and it's playable. Perez hauls it in at the wall. Bazana thought he had it. If it's 20 degrees warmer, maybe he has got it.
Hit hard. Wind's blowing in enough. Keeps it in. Easy play for Winslow.
You've known us.
Tomorrow is a 3-1-3 value game for the second of 4 games against Cleveland Guardians at Comerica Park. Tickets start at $23 plus $3 hot dogs, $1 chips, and $3 waters or fountain drinks. Go to tigers.com/values to learn more. Look at that hot dog down there. Bottom right corner. Onions, a little mustard.
Well, hot corner is in the bottom left. Hot dog corner is in the bottom right. As there is ball 1 from 25-year-old Peyton Pallette out onto the mound for Cleveland here. He's our wall side windows pitching change as Matt Festa through to a couple of batters, and that likely makes him available tomorrow. That's the idea for Stephen Vogt, who was a bullpen coach before he was a manager. And he's mentioned before how valuable that experience was for him to know how to manage that portion of the program.
It's one of the hardest jobs of a manager. Never seems to be a lack of bullpen guys when you don't need them, and there's always a lack of bullpen guys when you do need them.
Yeah, they all do, and rightfully so, want clarity on what they're going to be asked to do, who they're going to see, when they're going to come in.
Yeah.
Arkansas native Peyton Paulette gets inside on McGonigal. It's Ramirez full throttle to make the catch. He looked back like, did anybody see how far I ran?
Look at
anybody see anybody else coming?
Basically playing shortstop positioning. He keeps running, looks down for a half second, comes around, says, hey, where is everybody?
So Tanner Bybee caught a pop-up earlier this year and celebrated like he had won the Super Bowl. And there's a little bit of an inside joke evidently between Ramirez and Bybee.
Yes. I think I think you're onto it right there. Always having fun. And that's it, when baseball players are having fun, there he is. He's laughing away. But part of the game, when you're winning, Jason, it's easy to have fun.
For sure.
When things are going your way, hitting home runs, scoreboard's looking good, it's easy to go out, play loose, and relax and have fun. On the other end of the spectrum, when things aren't going good, it's very difficult to go out and enjoy the game of baseball.
That's why you have to, I mean, it's counterintuitive, but you just have to keep it loose.
You have to find ways to not press panic buttons and allow the mindset to be, hey guys, things aren't going great, but they're not going to get better by trying harder. Like, go ahead and try harder. See where that gets you. These guys try hard every day. And then it's easy to overanalyze situations as well when production's not where you'd like it to be, and you start trying to change things dramatically. That's when you'll see a guy all of a sudden he's got an open stance. Well, he didn't ever have an open stance.
But A.J. Hinch said it too after that 4-game sweep in Minnesota. The temptation is to say it's early.
Yep.
But there are also things that you do need to fix.
Right.
When you start slowly. And so that's the balancing act, what you're describing and what he's describing. Making the proper adjustments. And you don't know until you do it.
Yeah, you got to play loose, but with intensity and focus. There's a element of focus that's needed in baseball that I would argue is about as high a focus as you need in all sports between pitcher and hitter. Each pitch matters. Intent of pitch matter. At-bats matter. Because if you stack at-bats, you score runs. And one of the superpowers of the Tigers offense last year was the bottom of the order. Really lengthened the lineup out a lot. We haven't seen the same production out of the bottom half of the order so far this year.
Part of that is depth.
Javi Baez was putting on some nice at-bats last year and this year. Gleyber Torres hitting up in the order, moves other people down. You can't replace a Gleyber Torres at bat.
So Riley Green, who's been on 3 times in the ball game, fouls that away after seeing his on-base streak come to an end yesterday. Thoreau's going to start again.
No time like the present. Got a couple knocks tonight.
0-2. Justin Verlander and Tarek Skubal both on the sidelines, can only watch for now. Both on the mend, trying to come back. As that misses from Paulette, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dingler at first, 1 out in the Tigers' 9th. Oh, got hit. Riley Green gets hit by Paulette.
Looked like Hedges wanted it up. I don't know if the nerves kicked in there, knowing who he was facing, and he was going to make sure he was going to rip a heater up out of the zone, try to get some swing and miss, and lost it. That'll get a mound visit. But for the Tigers right now, the last thing you want to see is that guy get hit up and in. Looks like he's no worse for wear. Deflected off the upper tricep, lower deltoid area.
That is the 4th time this year Riley Green's been on base 4 times. And, you know, at least you have a chance to impact tomorrow if you're the Tigers here. And I know, you know, people don't want to hear that in an 8-2 game, but you'll want to hear it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? If Cade Smith throws tonight because you forced him into the game, that's better than him being more fresh tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He's up.
And even to get him up is better than for him not to be up.
Yes.
Because anytime there's an up, managers take that into account.
He did not throw yesterday. He threw 2 days ago. And you see the value of this game to Stephen Vogt with Cade Smith up at 8-2. Certainly one swing makes it a save situation. So there's a cluster of managers who would have their closer up right now, and he's in that group. Two on, 1 out. Went back to the outside and missed. 2-1. Dotted him on the corner. 2-2. Cue shot to first. Hoskins for out number 2. That advances Dingler and Green. The Guardians trade a couple of 90 feet for an out. And here is Zach McKinstry.
Just got to work to extend the inning any way you can if you're Zach McKinstry.
Strike 1 from Paulette. So it was Slade Ciccone for 7 1/3, then Festa for 2/3 of an inning to cap the 8th. And now Paulette here in the 9th.
Couple of curveballs up, start him out with.
On 2 sheared foul. You see how runners in scoring position just finds its mark. I mean, that will level off with the best of them. It's usually a symptom of other things. Oh, 2.
No chase on the curveball. Just hanging in there. 2-strike approach.
One, 2. That misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maybe one more batter after this before Cade Smith.
Just extend it a little more.
One more. That misses. We get a challenge. Austin Hedges wants to end the game, and that might be aspirational.
I think that's, I got a couple left in the bucket here. Let me try one.
Call's confirmed. Cleveland loses their challenge. They have 1 remaining.
Yeah, if you got 2 left. You can't roll them over.
3-2. It's a chopper to second base. Pizzana completes a Guardians win in the opener. 8-2 your final score. Cleveland over the Tigers, and the Tigers are 6.5 back in the AL Central. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Toronto postgame follows this. For Denny Blunt, Andrew Blaustein, our entire marvelous crew downstairs in the truck. For Johnny Kane, Andy Dirks, Jason Benetti, Logan, and Andy have postgame brought to you by Toronto. Next.